Hi and welcome to day 2 of week 7 of training cycle 2 of 2021. Let's get straight to it. Alright, as you guys have probably already seen as you clicked on this video, it's a lot shorter than my standard video format. Now, I don't know why I said video format, because it doesn't really have much to do with the video. Same style of video, same editing, same shit. But my training has changed drastically. I have decided upon a significant, massive, I'm going to say massive, it isn't really significant, it is huge cut in training volume. I'm going to continue with the same frequency, which is training 7 days a week. If you count the running, if you don't, it's 6 days a week of weights, in which that 7th day, by the way, is a lot harder than the weight training days, even before the volume cut. But here's the thing. I couldn't really recover properly and feel good with what I was doing before. The volume was really starting to get to me, especially when you when you account for the fact that I'm going to school constantly, have homework to do all the time, have tests to do all the time, especially now that it's nearing the summer holidays. And another interesting thing is my training often was literally as long as I slept at night, which obviously that is completely fucked up, imbalanced. Like, even on some days, a good day, I'd sleep twice or 2.5 times longer than my training took, and that's still nowhere near enough sleep. So I decided to decrease my training volume because I was starting to feel beat up, not physically yet. I don't feel it in any specific muscle, specific place in my body. It is a residual fatigue, and what I actually am proud of is the fact that I didn't get a single overuse injury, and that is partly partly luck, but the fact that I didn't get a single overuse injury over a long period of time does suggest to me that I chose good exercises, that I kept a decent muscle balance in my body, right? Having opposing muscles in the same joint strengthened appropriately so that they can counteract one another. And for example, things like that deadlift form that you just saw there doesn't happen if you have good muscle balance. That by the way, guys, that is indicative of weak hamstrings, what you just saw there. But back to the point. I did choose good exercises. I was doing the right thing, but I couldn't recover from it. And you can have the best program in the world, but if you can't recover from it, obviously you're not going to even make progress. You're going to go backwards, because you're going to break down the body more than it can regrow, basically replenish itself, recover. So what happens is you actually can train so much so that you get worse. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened to me, and there is a chance that this big cut in training volume is going to affect my strength negatively. However, with everything I'm doing and with the total scope of my life in mind during this next, whatever it is, I don't know how long it is until summer holidays, month and a half, however long it is left, these next couple weeks are going to be very difficult. And when you account for every single factor in my entire life, I'm going to have a difficult life to live for the next couple weeks. And training at maximum capacity at that time may not be the smartest decision. Now, everything I'm saying here really doesn't sound like Ivan. I know that. I'm aware of that. But you guys really have to just understand that I just did weeks upon weeks of murderous training. Still haven't taken a single rest day, obviously, this entire training cycle. This is the 7th week now, 0 rest days, and actually pretty much the last half of the last training cycle I did without rest days, and I took no rest days between training cycles. So, I haven't taken a rest day since like week, what is it even? I don't even know, like week something of this year, like back in February. Alright, let's check the training log. Let's see when was the last time I took a rest day. Alright, let's go back to the last training cycle. Week 9 of this year. It is currently... Fuck, I don't know which... Oh, actually, I can check that too. Also have that in my training log. It is week 17 of this year. So, 17... It's week 17 now. So that means that I've had, like... I'm bad at maths, whatever. 7, 8 weeks, something like that. Pretty much 2 months without a single rest day. The majority of that was doing larger and larger volumes, sleeping less and less, and the only thing that saved me from my absolute failure was the calories. Guys, this year I started off at 73.73 as an average weight. Right now I'm averaging above 78. So that rhymed, by the way. So I've gained like 4.3 kilos, 4.4 kilos, something like that, in less than 4 months. So gaining more than a kilo per month for a couple months now, it has had a positive effect on my recovery. And I do believe that is the only thing that I've really done very well during this training cycle, is the food. I usually nail the training pretty well. I usually get it down. The sleep and the food are difficult to get in. It's very hard to, like, it's a discipline issue. Finding that time to eat that extra meal. Not doing anything entertaining or fun or anything you like to do, but just going straight to bed and sleeping. These are things that us mere mortals, we don't have the willpower to go to bed. Like, that's the way it is for me most of the time, is I don't want the next day to start because, I know how short the night is and I don't want to wait. I don't want to be woken up by that alarm clock. So I just don't go to bed, man. That isn't sustainable. I'm going to do something sustainable now. I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to decrease the training volume, increase the sleep, increase the calories. Most likely, I'm going to be feeling fantastic in a couple of weeks. And we'll see if I can hit a 100 kilogram bench press by next week. But I do know that I'm going to hit it before the summer holiday. But the plan, according to this training cycle, according to my book, is the next week. So let's see how that goes. Goodbye.